Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Green Room Podcast. I'm Matthew Bruni, and joining me is Colin Mitchell. Colin, we have a final in Bowling Green, Kentucky,
Well, it's
and
not over
North
yet.
Texas. No, it is. It's over. I got the retweeted. Everybody, it's done. It's
Oh,
done. At least that's what Twitter says.
ESPN says there's 2 minutes left.
Well,
Who are you gonna
ESPN's
trust? The worldwide leader in sports?
Listen, I'm trusting my boy Reed Smith. All right, that's what I'm trusting. Dude, North Texas football just tweet. I'm just gonna share my screen just so we can have a great time with everybody here. Even though I shouldn't do this, whatever. Look at this. Twitter. Look what North Texas football just tweeted.
I can't see it because I have my light in the way. Let me just look it up. Actually, let me just move you to the side.
Look at this. This is
Oh,
North Texas handing Western Kentucky an L.
That's crazy.
This is the point we are
I
at.
will say their social media team and their video department has done a great job.
Excellent job. Okay. We're not gonna waste anyone's time here, Colin. All right, and we're not gonna waste your time. Okay. I don't want to waste your time.
I'm not in a hurry, but okay.
But look, I value your time. North Texas routes Western Kentucky 40-13 on the road. We both predicted it to be a blowout loss. We said they had no shot.
Actually, I said it was like a 10-point or 11-point loss.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you said.
Okay.
I listened back to the podcast. We both had the tone of saying,
"Oh yeah.
It's not going to be pretty."
I'm just trying to save face, you know.
No, go ahead. Try to save face all you want.
I can't.
You said it was going to be a 14-point loss, 34-20.
Yeah, I know.
I said it was going to be 18. Or
that means I'm closer.
You are correct. You won. You won that one. So we both had blowout losses. Both said it was going to be ugly. We're praising Western Kentucky before the game started. We're like,
Yep.
Why even show up? Why play this game?
Yep.
North Texas not only shows up, goes up 14-0, and just puts it on Western Kentucky the entire game. Like, it didn't look like Western Kentucky had a chance outside of when it was 14-7. And then North Texas offense basically stalled out throughout the rest of the half. And I believe it was 17-10 going to half. And we're like, they got the muffed punt, but they only got 3 points out of it. North Texas did. And it didn't feel like it was enough, but it was more than enough. It was more than enough. Western Kentucky's offense was putrid. Give all credit to Phil Bennett. I want to give all credit to Seth Luttrell.
Yep.
For having this team prepared. We come on here and we are talking heads. And I mean, you are in hotter water than I am for your takes, but
who cares?
At this point, we have again, if you erase all that, everything that we've said the entire year, which you should hold us to a lot of things, but it doesn't matter because at this point we're outsiders. We are not writers for the team. We're not covering the team on a day-to-day basis. If you want objective reporting, there's a lot of people who do good work. You can find them. If you strip everything away, Colin, it looks like we have not only a competent football team, not only a pretty good football team, we have a team that could be playing for a conference championship in a month.
Yep.
I can't believe we've reached this point, but what a win. What a win. That's it.
Yeah, I want to be the guy that comes up here and sticks to my guns. And I can in a way, But after seeing that win, I don't want to get anyone down. I mean, Austin Aune looked great. I mean, when he had that second throw that it was almost a pick, I was like, oh no. And then he he looked great. He looked fantastic. Like you said, the defense, I thought Gaddy was super impressive. And then, I mean, they even got some pressure. How many sacks do they have? Do they have?
Yeah, they were bothering Reed for a lot of the game. Reed started the game like 2 of 8. Then he went on a run where he was completing like every pass.
Yeah.
And the defense locked back down and closed out the game. I mean, to be fair to everybody here, it was 20-13 going to the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not going to act like it was a blowout from start to finish because it wasn't. But it felt like North Texas was in control. Even when it was a one-possession game.
It even felt like the single touchdown was insurmountable. It was 20-13.
It didn't feel like Western really had a shot at coming back here. And even when they drove down the field, I think to cut it back to a one-score game in the fourth quarter and Reed threw an interception. I don't know, but even before that, I was never like, man, North Texas is in trouble, because everything looked pretty easy for North Texas throughout the game. It looked easy in getting to the quarterback. I mean, they held Western to 4.9 yards per carry, which isn't great, but again, it just never felt like it was out of hands for North Texas. So, all credit to them in this game. I think we can, talk more big picture stuff, but yeah, what a performance. I mean, I don't know if you want to shout anybody else out. Look, when we started recording before you go, the broadcast talked at least 3 or 4 times about Austin Aune going pro. And if that doesn't tell you about how
that's crazy, this is not the first broadcast that said that. This is the second broadcast that said it. So I don't know. They must have like a campaign or something.
Yeah.
Is this what 6 for Heisman was? But he's too old and he's got a
two to the pros. There you go.
2 to the pros. Once a pro, always a pro, because he was already a pro.
That's true. Yeah. Back to the pros. Back to.
Yep. Look at that.
All right. Always on top of it.
Call us up.
Always on top of it. Yeah. Always the marketing between us is out of control. But you were gonna say Ayo Day, or who were you gonna say?
Day, Kalen Horton. That dude is crazy.
I couldn't believe they didn't get Horton the ball more in the UTSA game. That was weird to me.
Macklin obviously had those 2 big receptions. Damon Ward, and then Navarkes Gums continuing to show that he's able to be a good tight end. Obviously, this team isn't tight end heavy in terms of where they want to go with the ball, but he's able to still get his touches every game. So I was really impressed with them. Shout out Logan Wilson for the pick. I felt like they were due one after how bad Austin Reed was throwing the ball, and Gaddy looked great on that single coverage on the outside. So
yeah, great performance, great win. I don't have too much else as far as specifics go for the game. Defensive line looked good. It wasn't even a big Katie Davis game, I don't think. I don't even know how many tackles he ended the game with, but regardless, top to bottom, great performance. And the only thing is obviously we've been waiting for this the entire season, right? Like, if we go game by game and just react to every single game, there's nothing I would change about this season as far to this point. And obviously there's 3 games left here: FIU, UAB, and Rice, right?
Yeah.
The last 3 games of the year. Rice just got shellacked by Charlotte, so maybe they are imposters. UAB we'll have to see, but I mean, UAB lost to this Western Kentucky team. They didn't have the quarterback in that game. Still, at this point, even if they just go 2-1 in that stretch, we're looking at a 7-5 season with the bowl game. And the bowl game obviously would be huge at that point. But nothing we've said to this point, we've never said this team doesn't have talent, and we've never said they're not capable of performances like this. The whole thing has been the coaching. We've needed to see them put it together from a coaching perspective, to have this team prepared, have this team ready to play 4 quarters, and have this team ready to overcome adversity, right? When you joined this call, I was listening back to the last podcast, and you said I was making fun of you. But I was listening back to listen to what we were saying, because sometimes, you forget. And we were both like, we just want to see this team overcome something. We want to see them perform as underdogs. I mentioned the last podcast how bad they've been as underdogs under Seth Luttrell.
Yeah.
And, granted, 2019, 2020, 2021, 3 straight years, not being great, not being very good, even. It feels like they figured it out a little bit on the coaching staff. Now, the past few games, again, we make fun of the Memphis quote unquote win. They actually played pretty well in that game still, and then you have the last couple games, and then you have this game. And this is kind of a culmination
of everything up to this point.
Of everything that we've seen over the past 4 or 5 weeks. Like, because of that, we can start looking at the UNLV game as more of an outlier, right? We can start looking at the FMU game as more of an outlier. Like, those 2 losses are really, really bad. But outside of those, this win forces me to reconsider how good this team is and how good this team is being coached.
I agree and disagree.
Okay.
I agree in the sense that yes, the UNLV game, the SMU game are looking more like outliers. In hindsight, them still staying in the game with UTSA, despite it being so ugly, is probably a good thing more than it is a bad thing. But we have seen this type of season before. They lose to non-conference opponents. They lose that they don't have a conference loss, or did they do? Obviously UTSA, 2017. Obviously, that team. I would argue that this team's more talented than that team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, probably not. With Mason,
I'd have to think about that.
Yeah,
I can always rely on you for takes that make me think.
Yeah. Regardless, we've said over and over again on the podcast how Conference USA is not a juggernaut conference. They're not going to be in this conference next year. I am glad that I am obviously really happy that they beat Western Kentucky. I need to see it in the championship game, and I need to see it in what I expect now to be a bowl game. And, I don't need to see them, if they get paired with some crazy team in a bowl game, I don't need to see them win the game, but I need to see it be competitive for once in our lives, because that hasn't happened yet. I need to see a conference championship game, especially depending on who they play. They need to either win that or not make it look like FAU from 2017. So those are the two things that this team is missing now, right? Like those are the two things that Seth is missing. He's preached in these 7 years. We're about championships. I'm pretty sure everyone saw it in the bottom right hand corner. Seth is the longest tenured coach in Texas, in a D1 school. So yes, I'm very happy that they won. Yes, it's good. Yes, it looks like they're more competent. And I completely agree that offensively too, it's looked a lot better. But we need to see it done when it matters at the highest level, I should say. And you just disagree or agree?
I agree. I agree with what you're saying, that ultimately this season will be decided if they did make a conference championship game, and they will make a bowl at this point. How those games will play out, because this isn't new, right? That's what you're saying. You're saying this isn't new. They've had regular season success before, right? And they've had more, right? 9-win seasons, more back-to-back years. Like, they've done this before. This box has been checked. What boxes have they not checked yet? It's conference championships. It's bowl games. And so for that reason, I agree with you. However, I said this on the last podcast, and I will stand by it. This was a semifinal of sorts.
Yep.
And obviously, I don't know how all the tiebreakers will work if they lose to UAB, because then you'll have a triangle of tiebreakers where, Western, UAB, and North Texas will all have beaten each other if North Texas loses to UAB. But I'm sure there's a tiebreaker for that, whatever it is. But still, this was a semifinal of sorts. This was a game on the road that determined if you were in control of your destiny.
Yep.
And they won it. And they won it convincingly. And for that reason, this is perhaps the biggest win since Arkansas.
I would say considering what was on the line and overall and just for this season, I would agree with that.
The UTSA win last year was awesome. It was awesome, but it didn't.
You had nothing to lose.
Anything. Yeah, it didn't change any. It helped them make a bowl game. Cool, but this could help them make a conference championship game. Yeah. Which it's not. Again, going back to your point, the championships are what this team does not have, or what this program doesn't have under Seth Littrell. And for that reason, this has to be the biggest win since, I'm thinking, at least the Arkansas game, because the Arkansas game kind of put them on the map nationally.
Yeah.
So that I think it, and if we're being bluntly honest with it, we could look back on this game as being the biggest game of his career. As far biggest win of his career, because he's lost a lot of games that obviously mattered as far as bowl games, championship games.
Do you just mean in the sense that in terms of like where the program's at and what's kind of on the line? I mean, both literally in terms of the.
I look at that SMU game when they routed SMU in 2017. If we went through top 5 wins of Seth Littrell's career, this has to be up there.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with that.
100%. And so it sets it up to where the rest of your season matters, and the rest of your season you're playing for something you haven't played before, and that's the significance there.
Yep, and not only that, you don't have a team. Assuming that UTSA, I don't know. Do you know how healthy their guys will be come conference championship time?
I know Rashad Wisdom's out for the year, and that's one of their best defensive players. So I mean, he's going to be out. I mean, I'm assuming on the offensive line they'll get more healthy because they've been so banged up the entire year.
I mean, all you have to look forward now is, like you said, you control your own destiny. But you still have to get there. You know, like you said, this is the quote unquote semifinal. You still have to beat UAB. You still have to, you know, at least respect FIU and Rice, hopefully. But if you get to UTSA, make it a game like you did last year.
No, you got to win it. Okay, no, I mean, not for job security purposes, but
no, I mean, like, I agree. Like, you have to win it. But I'm saying,
you're getting me fired up just thinking about it, Colin.
But I'm saying you can't lay an egg like you did against FAU. You know what I mean?
I want UTSA's blood. I want their blood. I want their head on I want that Roadrunner mascot's head on a stick. That I want UTSA's blood, Colin. I want North Texas to win out. Imagine. I want North Texas to win out, and I want them to beat them like they did last year in the conference championship game in the Alamo Dome again. I don't care when that game is. I will be there if work allows it.
If I will be there, maybe
I will be there unless if I'm not there. But I will try my best to be there if North Texas makes it to the UTSA game and the conference championship. But yeah, it's a massive win. It is a statement win, and I was impressed. We kind of texted about this a little bit. The first two drives, North Texas offense made it look easy, and you were right 100% when you said they were the scripted drives. 100%, they are. It doesn't make them that much less impressive to me.
Oh no!
How easy they moved the ball and how easy the reads that they gave Austin Aune in those situations, because the run game, how many yards did they end up with rushing? 196.
Not a lot. It didn't feel like a lot.
196 on 5.4 yards per carry. So, 36 carries for almost 200 yards. Pretty solid outing. I'm not going to say it's the greatest outing ever, but and that includes Stone Earl, Roberts and Burns in there. So anyways, a good rushing attack, but it felt like Austin Aune was in control with his arm.
I think the most impressive thing for me is that we've seen North Texas come out hot before and kind of just, wither away toward the end of a game. I thought it was probably the most impressive thing that I've seen recently from Seth is you had those first two really good drives. You didn't score again really until the fourth quarter, but you were able to get it going again. You didn't just falter and just wither away and then give Western, some life, because that's what ultimately put away the game, right? They were able to score more than those 20 points.
And there were no turnovers.
Yeah, there were a couple. The second throw should have been, I think. Yeah. And then there was the other one. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Austin, I thought played a really good game.
Yeah. So we got to give full credit to the coaching staff, because I think, like I said, this is one of the better prepared North Texas teams that I've seen as far as playing on the road as underdogs. There's so many games. I remember watching at your house when we would watch them play Southern Miss. I think it was 2019 season, I believe it was, where they just got getting blown out. Like the La Tech get blown out, Charlotte, they lose on a close game. But there's just like so many instances where they're dogs and they just don't even show up. And that was our biggest problem, is that like,
or favorites.
There were some times where it just felt like they didn't show up for games. And I'm gonna look up the underdog record here pretty soon, but this time it not only felt like they were up for the game, it felt like they understood the significance of it.
Yeah.
It felt like they embraced it, and it felt like the moment wasn't too big for them, and it felt like they coached to that to make it simpler on their players and allow them to succeed. So, full credit to Seth Luttrell and this team. All right, let's see how recent this is. So this is before coming into this year, since the Liberty game. Seth Luttrell, this is coming into this year, so you'd have to, I don't know what games they've won as underdogs off the top of my head, whatever. Basically, they were 4-19 from the 4-19 as underdogs from the Louisiana Tech blocked kick, that game, to the end of last year.
Yeah.
4-19 as underdogs. And also 14-26-1 against the spread, just in general. So again, they weren't covering, they weren't beating people as underdogs. There was just no hope. And so this year we go into it being skeptical, and understandably so, and then they get routed by SMU, routed by UNLV, lose a game they probably should have won to Memphis. So for all those reasons, I think everybody had the right to be upset. And I think Seth Latrell would tell you that. I think he would be like, I understand why you would be upset. But now they might actually have the train on the tracks. And maybe I'm being too optimistic. I don't care. This is one of the biggest wins of the Seth Latrell era. And I'm gonna be a little bit hyperbolistic. That's a new word.
Are you a bullet?
There you go.
That's crazy.
But I might have some hyperbole, but I don't care at this point.
I like how you're wearing green. I'm wearing a San Antonio shirt, and I'm not even from San Antonio.
Yeah. What is? I was gonna ask you what that was. What is that?
It's from the Alamo.
When did you go to the Alamo? Oh, that was you went last summer, right?
Something like
that? I didn't.
That shit was last fall.
Oh yeah, y'all got the little place in downtown. That was nice.
Yeah.
Why'd y'all go? Did y'all just
to go?
That's good.
Never going again when it's cold.
Yeah, don't go when it's cold.
Yeah, Riverwalk was sad. Yeah, we had some really bad Mexican food.
Yeah, I didn't even give y'all recommendations or anything.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. We just need to North Texas needs to now show us that they can continue beyond this point.
Don't lose to Rice or UAB, or don't lose to both of them.
You mean don't use FIU or Rice?
FIU's 4-4. FIU just beat La Tech.
Yeah, La Tech is bad though. They're 2-something.
La Tech is awful. Don't lose to FIU. Don't lose to Rice. Just don't lose those two games, and you'll be fine. You go 7-5, UAB. Obviously, I think at this point, why not beat UAB on the road? Like, I don't even know UAB's quarterback situation right now, of how healthy they are. But like,
oh yeah, I forgot you said he got injured last week.
I have no reason to think North Texas won't be favored in that game if they, do what they're supposed to against FIU. Like, it's here, Colin. It's all on the table. It's all in front of them.
Yep.
We never thought we'd be here after watching them lose by 30 to UNLV.
Even after watching last week.
Yeah, even after last week, the last podcast we did whenever it was, Monday
6 days ago.
Yeah, 6 days ago. It was like, 6-6, maybe 7-5 is the ceiling, stuff like that. Yeah. Now it's there. So
how'd our pick'ems go?
Oh yeah, let's recap them.
I think I'm down now. I gotta be.
We both said over 1.5 picks for Austin Aune. We were incorrect. Shout out to Austin Aune, future pro. We need him and Mason Fine on the same Canadian team.
I was gonna say, who is Austin gonna get a backup QB or third string QB job just because he's tall?
They kept saying that. They kept saying, he's got the build, and they said, players are playing longer nowadays in the NFL. Look at Tom Brady, 45,
and he's like, he got more accurate, and I was like, he's the same, 55%.
The weapons are a lot better this year. I'll tell you that.
That's true.
Dude, they got some talented guys out there.
Can we rank that broadcast team in terms of broadcast teams that we've heard?
It was nice.
It was the bottom.
The play-by-play is the same guy that does the basketball stuff. Like he's fine.
I don't know.
I think he's the guy that was basketball.
I don't know. He was the guy that the one receiver got injured, and they're talking about how good he is.
Yeah,
couldn't believe that.
Good. But anyways, yeah, super talented receiving core. Shout out to all of them. All right, we're both wrong on Austin Aune interceptions. North Texas 125 rushing yards. I said over. You said under. I was right. Aune 0.5 rushing touchdowns. You said under. I said over. You were right.
You only know his 5. You know he only has 5 in his whole career.
That's fine. Okay. Did you look that up before last podcast?
No, it was showing up on the screen today.
Okay. Western Kentucky 299 passing yards, over under.
I said under.
It was 320. I said over. I was right. And then you got the score prediction right.
Did we push?
We pushed. So Colin
up 1 still.
Is now at 21. Rooney is at 20. All right. Good job, Colin. Congratulations.
Are we gonna even do an FIU preview? I feel like it's not even necessary.
If we did, we'd end up just talking about how our Halloweens went and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think unless something significant happens between this week and next week, we just let it go. Where are you going?
Get the little.
Got
it at Walmart. I'm sitting like a little like a baby on my lap. Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll see. Let us know in the comments. Maybe do a Q&A or something. I don't know. Basketball. I don't know what we could do. But yeah, we'll look into it. That's it. That's all we have, though. What a great day to be a North Texas alum. I no longer feel embarrassed when people talk to me about North Texas football. So that's
that was a 4-week turnaround. That's crazy.
We're back. North Texas is back. Hang the banner. North Texas won a semifinal game. In the
semifinal game,
not
proverbial semifinal game,
a virtual semifinal game in Conference USA. When there's only 11 teams in there, and if it was the same conference as last year, Marshall would be competing with it. I don't. Old Dominion's decent.
Hey, let's not do this right now. You can't degrade what they have.
You're right. You're right. But anyways, that's it. We thank y'all for joining us. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave us a like, comment, share, all that good stuff. We appreciate y'all support wherever y'all listen to us. And yeah, we will talk to y'all later.